The day had begun, innocently enough. I, Emma Logan, traveling with my parents Mark and Linda and my younger brother Daniel, age 14. We're headed up to the Aspen Ridge area, a chain of mountains 3 hours from your home, for a weekend retreat. Dad was behind the wheel, Mom beside him, Daniel squirming in the back seats fiddling with his phone, and I sat strapped in behind Dad. We had packed our bags the night before. Heavy jackets, sleeping bags, snacks, even a board game in case of rain. In the calm light of morning, the trip seemed benign, just the four of us chasing quiet pine air and elevation. The highway began wide and open, arid farmland giving way to foothills. But around the 2-hour mark, the road narrowed. I pressed my forehead against the window. We entered thick conifer forest, moss hung low, road signs warned of altitude shifts and possible deer crossings. Soon, Dad said, "Watch the road, kids. Fog's coming in." And that's when the unease crept in. The sky turned slate gray, clouds hugging the mountain peaks. The sun vanished behind a wall of mist. Visibility shrank to less than a car's length ahead. Daniel craned forward. "Are we lost?" "I don't think so," Mom replied, though her voice wavered. I felt it first, a soft thump in my chest, like adrenaline but colder. The edges of my vision darkened. In the mirror, headlight beams sliced through swirling fog behind us, but nothing overtook. No cars, no wildlife. We crossed a narrow bridge, water rushing beneath. A slap of something, wood? Metal, smacked the side of the SUV. The whole car shook. "Dad, what was that?" I cried. He stopped. Car off. Mist encircled us like breath. We all stepped out, Mom's hand on mine, Daniel shivering, though August shouldn't shiver. Nothing there. No rock, no branch. No sound. Only fog. Dad muttered, probably debris. But the road, so high, so remote, had no trees overhead. No cliffs above. Mom peered into the mist. We head on or turn back. I felt my stomach twist. Something wasn't right. But I nodded, hushed. Family looked to Dad. "Let's keep going," he said, voice steady but pale. We piled in. The engine's hum resumed. Headlights lead us forward through gloom. Shortly after, in the mirror I saw a figure, tall, thin, dressed in dark clothes, standing in the fog, arms by their sides, feet planted on the road's edge. Not close, but close enough. Then headlights passed the figure, maybe 20 yards back. I froze. "Dad, look!" Mom looked in the mirror. Dad slammed on brakes, so hard the back seats launched forward. We skid. When we all unbuckled and peered out, nothing. Fog blanketed the shoulder. No body. No footprints. Only tire tracks fading away. That was the moment I first thought, we might not make it to the cabin alive. After a trembling minute, Dad restarted the car. We kept driving. Slowly, cautiously. Daniel whispered about turning back, but Mom held his hand and quieted him. I stared at the road ahead but kept watching mirrors, scanning tree lines. We descended into a small mountain town called Pine Hollow. The fog lifted a bit. Storefronts, flickering neon motel signs, an empty diner. Town looked half abandoned. We parked outside the only open service station. Inside, overhead fluorescent lights buzzed. The attendant, a middle-aged man named Carl, wore a rumpled flannel. He blinked at us. "Gas," he said. Dad nodded. As Dad pumped, Carl said, "That fog on the ridge came fast today. People say some never come down." Mom rubbed her arms, cold. I wanted to ask what Carl meant, but the word stuck. Daniel asked to use the restroom. As he disappeared into the back, Carl muttered to Dad, "That road ain't safe after sundown. They've closed parts up above, trees down, rock slides. Someone found a body last week, turned up at the shoulder out there." He let the pause hang. "Don't mean to scare you folks." Dad thanked him. We left with full tank, unsettled. We drove the rest of the way, the road now paved but winding steeply into cloud. When the cabin finally appeared, it looked weathered, rustic, perched high above a valley. It had a rough chimney, stone foundation, and a wraparound porch. Though fog still clung to the treetops, below the valley glowed pink alpenglow early evening. Inside, though apparently deserted, was clean and cozy. Wood floors, a fireplace, a stacked pile of firewood, and a map pinned on the wall marking local trails. Nearby, a journal lay open on the table, Last entry dated 2 days ago and signed, mention of something in the woods. Heard footsteps around the house. Mom closed it quickly. I felt the hairs on my arms rise. Dad said, "Let's make dinner. Warm up, rest tonight." Daniel shelled peas. Mom lit the stove. I peeked outside the window. Branches creaked as wind rustled. No animals visible. The valley view was beautiful and eerie. Night descended abruptly. We ate in silence, candlelight flickering. The wind groaned through chimney flue. Outside, fog thickened again. Mom lit logs in the fireplace. Shadows leaped across walls. Daniel, restless, said, "Emma, I swear I saw someone outside." I swallowed. "You did!" He nodded. "Just silhouette, but gone when I blinked." Mom's face was pale. Dad nodded. They insisted it was lull and wind or play of shadows. Later, after dishes, I checked the entryway window. Outside, 2 glowing eyes between the trees. I backed away. Did those eyes look human? No, they were too low, too bright. I blinked. They vanished. I froze. Something came scratching at the cabin siding. Light taps, then a loud thump. I yelped. Mom rushed over. Dad grabbed a flashlight. They swung open the front door. Fog soaked the porch. Only the valley beyond, quiet. No footprints. No evidence. Dad sealed the door. Locked. Meanwhile, something slipped off the porch roof. Hard thud, like a heavy object. Fear rooted us to silent corners. We called ourselves brave houses. I went to bed with heart pounding, curled in blankets. I awoke at midnight to fingernails tapping on my bedroom window. My blood froze. I lay motionless. Heavy, rhythmic tapping. Then silence. In the darkness, I glimpsed a shape. Long fingers, twisted silhouette, pressed hairless ear to glass. I gasped. The window shattered inward. I screamed. Mom burst in. Dad thundered through the door. Stone skidded across the wooden floor. Glass shimmered. My window was shattered, curtain torn. Outside, in dense fog, stood a tall form. Eyes black as void. Dad grabbed me, pulled back. Mom pulled Daniel out. They rushed us into the main hallway. The intruder hissed, like broken human, but in human voice, and fled into mist. We bolted the heavy door. Walls trembled as if shaken. Overhead, something heavy crashed on the roof shed beam. A tree trunk. We cowered amid blankets. We realized our cabin wasn't isolated. There were others. The journal spoke of disappearances. The body Carl mentioned, perhaps local legend. And the figure, that shape, returned. We huddled until dawn, though the night seemed endless. Then first gray light filtered through broken glass. The mist parted. We dared assess. Smashed window, trampled porch, footprints in wet moss. One big foot, spindly toes. Not human. Bark shredded. We gathered what we could. Spare blankets, water bottles, flashlights, car keys. We ran to the SUV parked a few yards away. Engine now stubborn. Fog rolled as if breathing. Then it emerged. Same tall figure, gliding from tree line, no sound on ground. Worse. 2 more behind, silhouettes like moving shadows. Mom cried. Dad yelled. He smashed side window with tire iron. We climbed in. Daniel slammed door. Dad turned key. Car caught, sputtered, died. He tried again. It revved, stalled. The figures closed. I watched them lean against the fog, arms drooping. Faces featureless. Hollow. We had one shot. Push the car. Dad opened the door. We all leapt out, pushing together. Car rolled backward down a slope, toward the road but gaining momentum. The creature reached and snagged Daniel's sleeve. He screamed. Dad jerked the sleeve free. Mom yanked Daniel back. The figures hissed. I lifted foot and kicked the roof with all my weight. A deafening clang echoed. They shrank back. The car picked up speed, slid onto winding grade. It slid, crashed through low barrier, teetered. I thought, nothing can stop us now if it keeps going. It smashed through trees, dragged metal, hit a rock. Windshield imploded. We dove clear. The vehicle rolled further before coming to rest in a cliff glade. We lay there, gasping. Above us, cliff brindled by dawn mist. No sign of creatures, nothing moved. Bruised and bleeding, we crawled back to road. We flagged down a forest ranger truck that appeared like a miracle, late patrol from a nearby ranger station. They'd heard radio chatter about tourists missing in these woods. They helped us into warmth. At the station, they took Brian seriously. They said, hiking party saw strange shapes in fog. Other reports of grotesque figures. Journals found in abandoned cabins described fog ghosts. The medical aid team treated minor injuries, glass cuts, bruises, shock. We gave statements. Later, when safe and sterile, we learned Carl's quiet warning made sense. Pine Hollow has legends but also reports, missing people, unexplainable bodies found near road shoulders. Local newspapers from summer 2025 recounted tourists found disoriented, some dead, many missing.